Good evening, you beautifully dangerous disappearing act. You know what they expected from you, right? They expected you to come crawling back with a soft voice and shaking hands. They expected the long paragraph, the explanation, the "I didn't mean it like that," the "can we talk," the "I'm sorry you felt," the little emotional donation you always used to pay just to keep the peace. They didn't just want an apology. They wanted proof. Proof they could still pull your strings. Proof you were still available for their chaos. Proof you were still the same version of you. The version that stayed after being disrespected. The version that forgave without being asked. The version that swallowed your pride like it was poison and called it maturity. They waited for your apology the way people wait for a vending machine to finally spit out the snack after they've been kicking it. They thought you were predictable, and then you did the one thing that makes controlling people absolutely lose their mind. You went quiet, not the "I'm sulking" quiet, not the "I want attention" quiet, not the "I'm trying to make you miss me" quiet. The final kind, the kind that sounds like a door clicking shut, the kind that sounds like your soul taking its keys back. Silence. And not because you had nothing to say, because you finally realized they were never listening anyway. Let's be real. You could have explained yourself in perfect sentences with perfect logic and perfect timing, and they still would have twisted it, still would have found a way to make you the villain in their little theater play, still would have turned your pain into a debate, still would have asked for clarification when what they really wanted was control. So you stopped performing. You stopped begging to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. And that's where the story flips. Because the moment you didn't apologize, the moment you didn't chase, the moment you didn't show up to defend your name in the court of people who never liked you in the first place, you became a threat. Not because you yelled, not because you fought, because you didn't need them anymore. And that terrifies them more than anger ever could. Anger means you're still attached. Anger means they still have access. Anger means they can poke you and get a reaction like a little science experiment. Silence. Silence means they can't read you. Silence means they can't predict you. Silence means their old buttons don't work. Silence is you taking the remote out of their hands. And oh, they hate that. They start asking around. They start checking your socials like they're reading your pulse. They start stalking your absence like it's a crime scene. Because when you disappear, their imagination becomes your loudest message. They replay everything. That last conversation, that last disrespect, that last time they thought you'd come back like you always do. They tell themselves you'll crack because you used to. You used to be the person who stayed up at 2 a.m. rewriting a message so it sounded nicer. You used to be the person who apologized even when you were the one bleeding. You used to be the person who took blame just to end the tension. You used to be the person who confused empathy with self-abandonment. And I'm not judging you. That was survival. You learned early that peace was something you had to earn, that love was something you had to maintain, that if you didn't fix it, it would fall apart and you'd be alone. So you became the fixer, the smoother, the one who makes it not a big deal, the one who keeps everyone comfortable, even if it cost you, especially if it cost you, because you thought being chosen meant being useful. But listen, really listen. There's a difference between being loved and being tolerated because you're convenient. And those people, They didn't want your growth. They wanted your access. They wanted your patience. They wanted your soft spot. They wanted the version of you that had no boundaries and infinite explanations. They wanted the you that always came back. So they pushed you, and pushed you, and pushed you. Not because they didn't know it hurt you, because they knew you'd stay anyway. Until one day, you didn't, and they felt it. That shift, that cold, clean moment where you stopped negotiating your dignity. You didn't announce it. You didn't post about it. You didn't run a healing journey highlight reel. You just vanished from the role they wrote for you. And I need you to understand how powerful that is, because silence is not weakness when it's intentional. Silence is you refusing to feed a dynamic that was feeding off you. Silence is you saying, I'm not giving you the satisfaction of watching me bleed in front of you. Silence is you walking away with your energy intact, and people who only felt important when you were explaining yourself, they can't handle that. They'll try to bait you. They'll send that message that looks innocent but feels sharp. They'll poke you with nostalgia. They'll bring up old memories like coupons you owe them. They'll say, I miss you. But what they mean is, I miss how you made me feel powerful. They'll act confused. They'll act hurt. They'll act like you're the one who changed. Of course you changed. You got tired. You got tired of being the bigger person while they stayed the same person. You got tired of apologizing for your reactions while they never apologized for the reason. You got tired of the emotional tax. And you finally saw the game. The game where they make you feel guilty for having standards. The game where they make you feel dramatic for having feelings. The game where they treat your boundaries like disrespect. So you stopped playing. And here's the part they don't talk about. When you choose silence, it hurts. Not because you regret it, but because you're detoxing. You're detoxing from the chaos you confused with connection. You're detoxing from the dopamine of arguments, makeups, and we're fine again. You're detoxing from the need to be chosen. Silence feels empty at first because your nervous system was addicted to noise. You start hearing your own thoughts again, and that can be terrifying because now there's nowhere to hide from yourself. You start noticing the patterns, how you kept forgiving the same person for the same thing, how you kept calling it love when it was just you trying not to be abandoned, how you kept shrinking so other people wouldn't feel threatened. And then the grief hits. Not just grief for them, grief for you, for the time you lost, for the way you begged to be treated right, for the way you accepted crumbs and called it dinner. That grief is heavy, but it's honest. And honest pain is clean pain. It doesn't rot inside you like silent resentment. It burns through you. It purifies you. It turns you into someone who doesn't tolerate what you used to. This is the part where people break, where they go back just to stop feeling the discomfort. Because going back is familiar. Going back is easy, even if it costs your self-respect. But you didn't go back. You stayed in the silence long enough to become somebody new. And that's where the new life starts. Not the fantasy version, not the soft focus movie montage, the real version. The version where you wake up and realize you're not checking your phone with dread anymore. The version where your stomach isn't tight all day. The version where you're not rehearsing arguments in your head. The version where your energy comes back, slowly. First you notice you can breathe. Then you notice you can focus. Then you notice you can laugh without feeling guilty. Then you notice you're not as anxious. Then something dangerous happens. You start liking yourself again. And that's when they really start panicking. Because when you like yourself, you stop begging for permission to exist. When you like yourself, you stop trying to be digestible. When you like yourself, you stop begging people to choose you, because you finally chose you. So your new life doesn't start with a big announcement. It starts with small, ruthless decisions. You stop replying right away. You stop explaining everything. You stop overgiving. You stop making excuses for people who wouldn't make excuses for you. You start sleeping earlier, eating better, moving your body like it matters. You start taking your work seriously. You start building something, and at first, nobody notices, because they were never watching your growth. They were watching your availability. They were watching for the moment you'd fold. But you keep going. You keep stacking quiet wins. One gym session, one job application, one saved dollar, one no you used to be too scared to say, one boundary you keep even when your voice shakes. And then one day, they notice. Not because you told them, because your whole presence changes. You look different, not just physically, energetically. You're not hungry for their validation anymore. You're not impressed by their attention. You're not moved by their mood swings. You don't flinch like you used to. And they can't stand it. Because the version of you they knew was manageable. The new you is expensive. The new you has standards. The new you has discipline. The new you has self-respect that doesn't negotiate. And here's the truth that will sting a little. But you need it. The apology they were waiting for was never about peace. It was about keeping you in your place. It was about making sure you stayed the one who bends, the one who comes back, the one who makes it okay. Because if you don't apologize, they have to face what they did. And some people would rather rewrite reality than take accountability. So they rewrite it. They tell people you switched up. They tell people you got cold. They tell people you changed. Yes, you did. That's the point. You changed because you finally understood something. You can love people and still leave them. You can miss them and still protect yourself. You can forgive them and still never give them access again. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You're not punishing them. You're choosing you. And this is where you become unstoppable. Because when you stop giving explanations to people who don't deserve them, you get time back. And time is everything. Time to build. Time to learn. Time to heal. Time to level up in silence. And the craziest part, they don't even know how you did it. They think you found some secret. They think you got lucky. They think someone else saved you. No, you saved you. You stopped asking for closure from the same mouths that wounded you. You stopped trying to talk it out with people who only talk to win. You stopped volunteering your softness to people who weaponize it. You stopped trying to be understood by people committed to staying childish. And you started doing the grown-up thing nobody wants to do. You accepted reality. You accepted that some people aren't going to apologize. You accepted that some people aren't going to change. You accepted that some people will only respect you when you're gone. So you gave them what they earned. Distance. You gave them the consequence they never thought they'd face. Your absence. And let me tell you what happens when your absence is the consequence. People start remembering you differently. Not as someone they could play with, but as someone they lost. And that's not even the best part. The best part is what happens inside you. You start developing this calm that isn't fake. This calm that comes from knowing you don't have to prove yourself anymore. You start walking into rooms without needing to be liked. You start saying what you mean without fear. You start cutting off disrespect mid-sentence, and at first it feels almost mean because you were trained to think boundaries are cruelty. But it's not cruelty. It's self-respect catching up to the damage, and your new life starts reshaping your identity. You don't introduce yourself with your trauma anymore. You don't make decisions from fear anymore. You don't accept almost anymore. You become the person who can't be baited. And people who thrive on your reactions, they starve. They'll send the "Are you okay?" text that's really "Are you still weak?" They'll send the "We should talk" message that's really "Let me back in." They'll send the "I'm sorry if" apology that's really "I'm not sorry, but I want access." And you'll read it, and you won't feel that old panic. You won't feel that old urge to fix it. You'll feel clarity, and clarity is colder than anger. Clarity is you seeing them exactly as they are, without the fantasy, because your imagination used to carry them. Your loyalty used to cover their flaws. Your empathy used to protect them from consequences. But you stopped doing that. You stopped being the cushion between them and the truth. And the truth is simple. They waited for your apology because they thought you needed them. But you learned something they didn't want you to learn. You were the power source the whole time. You were the one keeping the connection alive. You were the one doing the emotional labor. You were the one translating disrespect into "they didn't mean it." When you left, the whole system collapsed, and now they're sitting there with the echo, with their own behavior, with the silence you left behind like a mirror. And that mirror is brutal, because it doesn't argue back, it just reflects. So your new life, it isn't just you moving on, it's you becoming someone who doesn't go back to places that broke you. It's you becoming the person you needed when you were younger. It's you learning to trust yourself again. And that trust changes everything. Because once you trust yourself, you stop tolerating confusion. You stop tolerating mixed signals. You stop tolerating disrespect disguised as jokes. You stop tolerating the "I didn't ask you to" crowd after you've done everything for them. You start choosing people who choose you. Not just when it's convenient, not just when they're lonely, not just when they need something. Real choosing. And if they can't meet you there, they don't get access to you. Not your time, not your energy, not your heart. You become allergic to crumbs. And that might make you lonely for a minute, because you're not surrounded by noise anymore. But loneliness with self-respect is a luxury compared to company that drains you. And you know what's crazy? The moment you stop settling, the world responds. Opportunities show up. People show up. Doors open. Not because the universe is magical, because you're finally available for better. You're not stuck in the same toxic loop, spending your best energy on the same exhausting person. You're not giving your prime years to someone who only acts right when you threaten to leave. You're not negotiating your worth with people who benefit from you feeling small. You're building quietly, and the silence that used to hurt starts feeling like peace. Not the fragile peace you have to maintain, the solid kind. The kind that doesn't depend on anybody else behaving. And now, when they think of you, they don't think of the old you. They think of the moment you stopped responding. They think of the moment the supply got cut off. They think of the moment you refused to beg. And somewhere deep inside them, it messes with them because they know. They know you finally saw it. They know you finally understood what they were doing. And the part that drives them crazy, they don't get to rewrite the ending with your apology. They don't get to close the story with you saying, "I'm sorry." They don't get that satisfaction. They get silence. And silence is a sentence. Silence says, "You don't get to access me after disrespecting me." Silence says, "You don't get to hurt me and still keep me." Silence says, "You don't get to treat my heart like a trash can and call it love." Silence says, "I learned." And once you learn, you can't unlearn. So keep building your new life like it's sacred. Keep your circle small. Keep your standards high. Keep your moves quiet. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them stare at your absence and realize too late. You were never asking for too much. You were asking the wrong people. And now you're the kind of person they can't reach. Not because you're arrogant, because you're awake. Because you finally stopped trying to be understood by people who only understood how to use you. Because you finally realized your apology was the leash. And you didn't just take it off. You threw it away. You chose silence. And you chose a new life. And the version of you they keep hoping to summon back, with guilt, nostalgia, and fake concern. That version doesn't live here anymore. That version can't even hear them, because you're busy, quietly, dangerously, becoming the kind of person who doesn't return to the cage after tasting freedom. The kind of person who doesn't explain themselves to people who would never do the same. The kind of person who doesn't beg to be treated right. The kind of person who turns pain into fuel and disrespect into distance. The kind of person who doesn't argue, doesn't plead, doesn't chase, just upgrades, just rebuilds, just elevates, just disappears from the old story and writes a new one with different rules, different people, different standards, different air to breathe, different level of peace, different level of power, different reflection in the mirror when you look yourself in the eyes and finally recognize the one person you should have protected from the start.